I bet I can guess what's on your mind.
Bet you can. Bet you can. Bet you can. Bet you can.
You know, I bet I can guess what's on your mind.
Bet you can.
Guys, welcome. What is up? Another edition of House Rules. I'm your host, Alex Getlin,
I'm your other host, Rachel LaForce.
and we're here, week 19. How you feel, Rachel?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of energy right now because I feel like I have so many things to talk about.
Yeah, well, real quick, if you've never seen our podcast or listened to it, we are comedians. We are engaged. We do this every week. We're live streaming right now, Monday night. It's 8:30 Eastern Time,
5:30 Pacific time.
and it's going to be out on iTunes and Apple Podcasts and all those good things pretty much right after, and then the edited video will be dropping this Friday if you want to catch it on YouTube or Facebook.
Yeah, so every week you can catch us. We live. I feel like that was a weird rollout. That was
Yeah.
very bizarre.
I was just trying to remember all this stuff.
Okay, is that what
I
was
should have
happening?
I should get a printout of what I'm supposed to say. And
You're
have
like,
it just-
right? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Hello, hi, hello.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
so we live stream here, and I always like to say we did this pre-quarantine, so we were
Yeah.
live streaming
Before it was cool.
before it was cool.
Yeah.
So we do that every Monday without fail, rain or shine, quarantine, no quarantine, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Yeah, and then you can catch us on YouTube, our Instagram, and Facebook at Skewed Orbit or at House Rules Pod.
Yeah. So we always start our episodes off with a weekly wrap up. So Rachel, you want to tell us what went on this week?
Yeah.
You had a pretty good week, right?
I had a great week. It was my birthday week.
It was Friday, May 1st.
That was it.
We had a kids party, kind of.
We had a kids party week.
Yeah.
I hung out with a lot of kids.
Well, recap us.
Okay.
Not
So-
strange, just not like random children. I mean, we knew them.
Yeah,
kind
we
of.
know them. They're
Yeah.
our neighbors. We're acquainted. We're acquainted. Yeah, I made cupcakes and dropped them off to friends and family. I did tie-dye. You can catch that on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So much tie-dye, you guys, and I'm so stoked to like keep tying things with dye.
Yeah, weirdly, you were way more excited than I expected because it's not like an item. Like tie dye is such a specific choice to wear that kind of thing. Like I can't think of a single outfit other than like a theme party, some kind of ridiculous like theme party. I can't think of any time I would wear tie dye anywhere.
But you in a tie-dye shirt, that's a totally different message.
What would I look like in it? Like I'm trying to
Just
be like I don't know.
like you're trying to get a job at Tommy Bahama, you know?
I guess.
Trying to find weed at like an Olive Garden.
But nobody wears like I feel like now if you wear tie dye.
It's a choice.
But it's so easy to do it wrong. You know what I mean? Like it can go bad in so many ways.
Oh, for sure.
It's like there's like dreadlocks. Like you have to be a very certain kind of person to wear them properly.
Yeah, hopefully a person of color. That's for
Yeah,
me.
okay.
That's the only persons.
I guess. Yeah, sure.
I know what you're saying. I'm just tagging that.
Yeah. So we had your birthday.
So yeah, I made tie dye.
we got Costco pizza.
We did a Costco picnic pizza party
Yeah.
in the park, and I highly recommend it. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. It was exactly what I wanted my birthday to be.
What else happened this week?
I watched the greatest documentary of all time.
Oh God, yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us about it.
Okay,
All right.
friends, hello.
What was it?
Go to Netflix. It's called A Secret Love, and it's about these two women. One has since passed. Spoiler, sorry. They tell you that at the end.
They're very old in the movie, so it's
They're
not
very
shocker.
old. But they have been together for like 70 years. It's Terry Donahue, R.I.P., and Pat. I don't remember Pat's last name, but the two of them.
Well, it's probably Donahue because they got married.
Well, maybe, but they didn't get married. Okay, I don't want to ruin it. All I'm saying
Give
is
us the
this.
quick version because you're going to go on a lot of tangents and we don't have time.
Okay, ouch. But also fair. You know what I mean? Know your audience. Here we go.
Okay.
A Secret Love. It's produced by Ryan Murphy, who did, now did Hollywood, new show. Also watching that, but we're not doing a segment this week on that.
Okay.
He did American Horror Story. He did Glee. So he did this. It's a real documentary, A Secret Love, and it's about these two women that have been secretly in love since like the 40s. And
Right.
so it's all about their life and what it was like, being gay and having to keep it a secret and not being able to go to nightclubs or express your love and what that's like. So it wasn't until when the documentary is filming, it was like 3 years prior they had come out to their family.
Okay.
That's insane.
Right.
These women have been in
But-
love and taking care of each other. So when Terry passes at the end, Pat survived her. They had been together for 72 years.
But that's not okay. But the fact that they were secretly a closeted couple wasn't surprising because they were born in the 40s or they grew up in the 40s.
I know, but it was just so magical. And it was like these women love each other.
But wait, you
so
forgot
much.
to mention.
Oh, the best part where I lost my mind. Alex took video of me and like close up of like
Yeah.
my dumb face eating popcorn, crying.
Yeah.
Terry was in the All-American Women's Baseball League.
Which-
she was a league of their own.
Right. So that was kind of cool. They were like the real.
She was the real deal.
She was
And
the
then
real
Pat,
Sally Field.
Pat used to
Kind of.
travel. Sally Field was not in that movie. Why do you keep
Who
saying
am I?
that?
Oh, Gina Davis. That's what I'm thinking of.
You've said that twice now, and every time you say that, I'm like, we cannot get
Okay.
married.
All right. Wait, really? That's a big deal to you?
A League of Their Own is like a classic.
I've never seen
film.
it. I've only seen that. There's no crying in baseball.
It's so good. We've got to watch it tonight.
All right.
It's so good.
So who else? Tom Hanks, Gina Davis.
Not Kit Tyler. That's her. Petty. Lori Petty.
Okay.
Also in Point Break. Shout out.
Okay.
Who else? Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna.
Madonna's in that?
Stacked.
Okay. Well.
Stacked cast.
Anyway, maybe I'll watch it one day.
It's a Penny Marshall movie.
Okay, so we had your birthday.
Yeah.
We saw your documentary.
I'm just saying, if you've seen Secret Love, please DM me. Like, please call me. I'm happy to talk about it. If you have not seen it, please watch it. It is the most beautiful love story of these women who have loved each other so deeply for years and years, and what that strong love is like. And plus the add-on of the League of Their Own. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's just
it was
so good.
novel. I'll leave it at that. It was fine. Okay.
It's phenomenal. Okay, so that was my week.
That was your week. Yeah.
I watched a documentary about old women that are in love and cried, and shocker. Ate pizza in the park, made cupcakes, and did tie-dye.
And you hung out with our 6 and 8 year old neighbors.
Honestly, best birthday I've ever had.
Yeah. Okay.
Best
All right.
birthday in my 30s.
Really?
Yeah, and we went to New York for my birthday last year, and I went to Vegas for my 30th. And this year in quarantine, hanging out with 6-year-olds, making cupcakes.
You know what I will say? That's actually we're going to do this at the end, lessons from quarantine, but that is kind of a microcosm lesson there because truly, we were supposed to have this big blowout birthday for you this year. We're going to go to a concert and do all this stuff, and it all got canceled because obviously, right? And we ended up just settling on, it was like you, me, and our friend Joey in the park, eating pizza, hanging out, and you got so many flowers from the neighbors and friends that social distanced their way over here.
Yeah,
And you were... I feel like for you that was like way better than going to a concert.
100%.
So what I'm hearing is from now on we should just do low frills, minimal birthday
Well,
parties.
I want to
for you.
save it for the end because definitely stick around for this whole episode. You're going to want to because the end when we talk about lessons in quarantine. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear like your experiences and feedback. And you are friends and family and fans, not yours. You and I can talk after the show.
Okay. We have so many segments to get into.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this.
This is a new one.
This is a new one, and I have no idea what you're going to present me with. This is this sounds like a movie.
So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. We're well aware. And some of this stuff, it's so insane. It feels like it's a plot from a movie. And this is something I stumbled across that's happening right now in the world. Okay, someone
That's
said,
just bigger beyond COVID-19.
well, it's happening as an effect of COVID-19, and it's like go figure, right?
I was just making a joke of like everything that's happening right now feels like a movie.
That's true.
It
Yeah.
feels like it's starring Harrison Ford.
But this feels like a comedy movie. Like this could be like a really crazy comedy movie.
So
taking
this is
place.
like a Seth Rogen take on COVID-19.
Kind of. Yes. Okay. All right. So there's a festival, a music festival that was going on in Panama in the jungle from, and I know that sounds crazy, but it'll make sense in a second, from February 29th to March 16th. Okay. And what it is, it's called, I'll pull it up right now. It is called.
Oh, so it's already ended.
Well, kind of. It's called Tribal Gathering Festival. What it is essentially.
What a boring name.
Well, it's so people who are in the Western world can come to the jungle and learn about indigenous culture and work with indigenous people. It actually, it toes the line between like, is this embarrassing that we're doing this, or is it cool? So,
well, when we say we, are you saying the Western world or white people?
I mean, the video of who's there is mostly like white people in attendance, but it's a lot of Europeans and Americans going. Hold on. So it's a music festival, but there's all these different indigenous like figureheads from these tribes coming and teaching about like living sustainably in the jungle and whatnot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I'm getting it, but my question is it created by the people in Panama, or was it created by people of privilege in Western culture?
But it's a partnership with the people in Panama.
Okay.
But here's the deal. Check this out. So, this is a headline from Vice.
The party people trapped at a music festival because of coronavirus.
So what happened was the festival was supposed to end mid-March, and this is right when people were shutting down their borders. And then basically the Panamanian government would not let these people leave their jungle area because they basically decided that they didn't know if it was safe for them. So there are people that are still trapped at this festival right now. Currently today, there's like 40 people. There were like hundreds of people there that little by little their governments were able to get them out. Through various
Will those
means.
left on the beach make the best of their situation, or will it turn into something more akin to Lord of the Flies, Fire Festival, or The Beach? What a deep cut. Do you know who's in The Beach? Do you know what movie that is?
Yeah, Leo DiCaprio. It's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Dude, Leo's so good in that.
Okay, well, you've never seen A League of Their Own and thought Sally Field was in it. So
Leo DiCaprio's in The Beach. I can't name any other actors, but is there nobody famous is in it.
I don't know. I remember I watched it with Kat Ragsdale at Delk Cinemas, and I think we walked out halfway through.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I just remember being like, what is happening? I don't know. I was also like in 8th grade. I don't think that movie was for me. Wait, so I want to know, but who's actually still there? Because these are like that clickbait where it's like, people are stuck in Panama.
There's still a bunch of people that are trapped there. Oh, that video's not there anymore. I had it queued up to show you. It's okay. Well, so the people, it was interesting. So the British people were stuck there the longest. They said their government was the least helpful. This like mini documentary on Vice. If you're curious what to look up, just Google, type in Vice and put in party people trapped at music festival. So like it was really interesting because all these different Europeans were there and their governments like one by one were able to like get them out.
Wait. Was Vice able to go there and make this documentary? Because then that seems like maybe we could have helped those people get out.
No,
Vice.
but I guess to rephrase, it was like a documentary compiled of like all their social media postings and like.
So they just made like a newsreel.
Yeah, I
called
guess
it a documentary.
Okay, to rephrase it, yeah, but it's a lot of video. But the crazy thing is like it's just funny to me it's not funny, I guess, if you're stuck there. But to imagine, like, you go to this music festival in the jungle, and it's like, yeah, and then we're going to learn about indigenous culture. We're going to go to the jungle. And then they're like, oh, my God, are we stuck here? Like, we live here now? This is our life? Like,
yeah, but the other funny thing about that is, like, if they were going to be like, let's learn about other cultures, and being like, I wanted to learn about it. I didn't want to become a part of it. Like, that's funny to me, where they're like, oh, I'll go and, like, observe it. But, like, screw being a part of it. Full Moon Rising, what is that?
That was one of the stages. They have all these. Oh, now
9th of March, Transition Day. On the full moon, we will celebrate the passing of the indigenous immersive and bring into the dance celebration. That doesn't feel like a full sentence.
Anyway, so these are like different artists they're all from Panama. So I thought it was cool. It seems kind of corny, I guess, but
How is that corny?
well, I always kind of get a little, not nervous, but when it's like, I'm very big on like, hey, everybody if you like something, go enjoy it, right? But there does, for me, a little bit feel something kind of weird about like a bunch of affluent Europeans coming to the jungle to like, party with the indigenous folks.
I don't feel like we've learned enough about what this is, because that's what I was saying. Like, is it a partnership of like, how is the money being extended? Like, this just looks like a music festival that is of Panamanian artists.
Well, I don't
so
know
that
how
means that the money is going to them.
I don't know
This
how the
doesn't
music's
look-
allocated rather. But here's a whole. These are all the different tribe guests, and then these are all the folks. And if you click on their, by the way, if you're watching, I'm looking at the website with Rachel right now. There's all these different people like vendors and artists, and if you click on it, and it pulls up like information about each of them, right? So
I hope those people are interesting because the first thing I was going to say by looking at these pictures is I was like, all of those people look way more interesting than anyone I know.
the people in the jungle,
Yeah, but then I was like, maybe it's just because they look different than me.
yeah, maybe they're
Like
just
maybe they're like, oh, today was so hard. I paid
they're
bills.
the Karens and Beckys of the
Yeah,
Panamanian
how do I know?
forest.
Like I'm looking at them and I'm like placing all these things on them of like, oh, they're so cultured and interesting. It's like maybe they're not. You know, maybe they also complain at a drive-through. I don't know.
Well, I don't think they're. I get what you're going for here.
It's just a joke.
I know, but I'm trying to think about it critically. No, you don't.
I get it.
Anyway,
That was cool though. I would really like to do a little bit more research on my own as to what, because look, yeah, the navigation says tribes shows learning wellness. So my guess is it was more of like, yeah.
but look at that shot.
Oh wow, that
So-
looks incredible.
So that's what I'm saying. It's right in the heart. It's like so. So the other thing about where this is, it's like a super remote part of the Panamanian jungle. It's like 3 hours from civilization. So dude, if they bring it back, if this all ends, I would go. You want to go? I guess
Sure.
we have to do it before we have kids.
Well, too late.
Yeah. Anyway,
Isn't that weird to think that hopefully in a year from now I will be with child?
we will be with child.
Well, I will be with child, but we will also be with child.
I feel like as soon as you're pregnant, we are. I know that's corny. But
Aw,
we're pregnant.
Are
but
you
I-
going to say that?
Yeah.
We're pregnant?
I'll say my wife's
It's just-
pregnant.
That's a sign of a good man. No, you're supposed to say we're pregnant.
I mean, I guess in a sense.
Now you're backpedaling.
Well, let me explain.
Okay.
What I mean is, I feel like.
The old ball and chains carrying a babe.
Shut up. Do you know what my favorite part of the whole past week was? When your friend Amanda came over and her 2.5-year-old son Bennett came, and he was so cute and so fun, and we were just playing with cars.
I know.
And he was dancing around. I was like, dude. And you know what I honestly thought? I'm not kidding. When I was playing with Bennett, and he's like this little 2-year-old boy bouncing around with me, I was like, dude, being a dad is going to be so fun.
You heard it here. That's adorable.
I mean, it'll be stressful and stuff, but it was like, I'm glad I'm preparing to be a father. Sorry. I'm glad that I'm thinking about it now. Like I didn't have kids sooner. Because when I was younger, I was still like, I want to have my freedom and party and stuff.
well, sure.
And
yeah.
and now, like, I'm just thinking about like how fun it'll be, like make my kids laugh and, you know.
Well, it was funny when we were hanging out with our neighbors and she was like, gosh, I just wonder now, like, what do people do with all their time that don't have kids? And I'm like, we just fill it with other things.
Yeah.
Like that's also the place that I've come to, which is like, yeah, of course, like where they're like, well, you know, it's going to eat up all your time. It's like, yeah, that or I just sit on my phone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
what
agree
am
with
I
you.
really doing
You know
with
what?
my time that is so, we'll save it for lessons in
Yeah.
quarantine.
Let's jump into our next segment.
Okay, this is this is fun. I'm excited for this. This is should we buy this for our house?
Want me to check that one?
Yeah, that's where people are commenting.
Okay. So, Rachel, why don't you describe this segment to everybody?
So this is should we buy this for our house? This is a fun segment where Alex or I will find items for the other, and then we decide if it's something that we should buy for our house. So like an indoor garden, or like the rock-on headphone stand, the collection of candles that, when all lit at the same time, smell like a Whopper. This is real.
So I have 2 items this week.
Okay.
Okay. 2 items.
Okay.
Now, here's the deal with these 2 items. The first one, I think you're going to love.
Okay.
It might be the most Rachel item I've ever found, ever.
Okay.
We definitely can't afford it. But if you sell a couple TV shows, maybe. The second one is something that I actually think we should honestly consider getting. I'm not joking. It's a little expensive, but it might actually be well worth it. Okay.
Well, tell me what you got.
So here is the first item. Okay. Oh, hold on.
Anderson Cooper?
No,
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to
All these-
sell a couple
these-
TV shows to own him.
read it.
A 30-pound piece of the moon is up for sale.
100% real. Okay. Now check this out.
A piece of the moon that's bigger than the rocks Apollo astronauts brought back to Earth is up for sale at the famed Christie's Auction House, which Christie's Auction House was on
I don't know.
the TMZ tour.
Oh, no, that was Bonham and Butterfields.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Guess I didn't.
I
really
hate
like
that I
it.
know that.
Well, you're the one that wrote it, right?
I know. Yeah, let's move on from
Okay. The lunar meteorite known as NWA.
I know that. Isn't that
Is that
funny?
real? That's hilarious.
It's called NWA 12691. I don't know why. It must.
Fell to Earth in a meteor shower and was found 2 years ago in the Sahara Desert. First of all, how do we know that? I feel like a healer named like Natalia. And it's like, okay, Natalie. It's
No,
like,
they probably
it's
were
Natalia.
able to. They probably somebody found it and they were able to test it and see. I'm sure NASA has like because the astronauts brought rocks back from the moon before.
Okay. Well, apparently this one's bigger than what they brought back.
I know.
The asking price is in the neighborhood of $2.5 million. It's a private sale instead of an auction, so anyone with money can buy it immediately. Wow.
So let me ask you this:
Yes.
you want it?
Oh, I thought you were going to say if you had the money, would you buy it? And I was going to say yes.
Yeah. So I guess how much? Like
Is too much for a piece
No,
of the moon?
So it's 2.5 mil. Let's just assume you have to pay that much. How much of your net worth? Like how much? Let's say you have 2.5 mil in the bank. Would you clean it out to get the moon
No,
rock?
I'm not a moron.
Okay, so you'd
I'm
have.
just a person that would spend money on the moon.
What would you do with your? Why do women love the moon so much? White women especially.
Well, because it's a very natural cycle. And so we also have an internal cycle. So I think we're more in tune to a natural 28-day cycle because the moon basically turns over every 28 days. And so does our menstrual cycle. So it feels.
Yeah, but you're like every woman's menstrual cycles on different days.
Sure, but it's still I mean, we're not all like, are we on the same day, all of us together? We
Although
all
when you
can't,
guys live
like-
together, you sync up somehow. That weirds me out.
I mean,
That's strange, right?
well, yeah, but it's also like we are animals. Like people forget that. It's like just because we have evolved in this place, and I'm not here to have a conversation about evolution because I'm a comedian, not an expert. Although I am an expert comedian, I
Boo.
feel like I should leave. I feel like I'm going to leave.
Boo.
Stay tuned. But with that, I think that it's very natural.
But how? What's the? Let me ask you this. Not that
Well,
you,
I would have to know more about animals and things like that. I mean, I'm just now learning about all of the ways to use your cycle to your advantage. So, what foods you should be eating, the type of exercise you. Why are you annoyed?
I'm not annoyed. I'm just thinking about something.
You like made a face like you were
well,
over it.
because to me, and again, I'm going to say this at the risk of sounding super ignorant, like the classic dumb dude comment, right?
Oh no, here we go.
But if nature was to try and make it like the best system possible, if you had like 4 women in a tribe, wouldn't you want them to each get their period a different week? So that because I mean, listen, when you have your bad day with all the cramps and everything, you're not as productive probably as the other days.
Well, that's interesting because what they might have done at different times too is they would have either used that to their advantage of growing their tribe, or they could have separated women so that it didn't all happen at the same time. But do you know about the red tents?
Yeah, where they would like shun you when you were.
Well, I don't think it was so much about shunning as it was like we used to be a much more not like female driven society. I don't want to say that, but there was much more equal of male and female energy, specifically more with like Native American culture. And so it was something that was valued and there was value placed on that. So it was kind of more of like out of respect for the female cycle and all that, you would go to these red tents and basically like allow your body to go through this process. And now we're just like, you have cramps? Who cares? Take care of your baby. Do more things. Exercise. Look hot. Like, you know what I mean?
Is that
we
like
just-
you're like a motivational coach trying to like?
well, we just put so much on women, and it used to be like, yeah, your body is literally shedding its uterine lining. You are experiencing this full body
I don't.
shed.
I don't think that's surprising that. In debate me on this rather, right? But yeah, like we used to put less on women when it was a clear separation of gender roles. And then and I'm not saying it's like even intentional, but it's like, okay, yeah, if you guys want to be equal, we're going to put the same standards on you that we put on ourselves.
Well, I don't think that's true because we still don't, to say that we have the same standards, that's not true. We're still trying to not let women make decisions with their own body. And there's still way more than we can get in here as like a discussion as to like the equivalent of male and female. I think it's more that we've created a society specifically in America that's based on productivity.
Yeah, I mean,
think it's that more than
if that's one
anything.
thing I learned about this whole like COVID shutdown, it's
Well,
that.
save it for lessons
All
in
right,
quarantine.
we'll get
All
to
right,
that
what's
in a-
next? So
Well,
yes, I would 100% buy this piece of the moon.
I will say, long shot, but we could put this on our wedding registry. If anybody's feeling super generous and you want to get it for us.
I would lose my mind.
Okay. All right. So this next item, like I said, I honestly think we should consider getting it.
Stealth. Game your core.
So what this is it's a planking board. It's like a balance board that you plank on.
Yeah, I
but
get it.
There's a spot in the middle for your phone, so you play games while you're planking.
I don't think I would do that part, but I think the plank board's cool. Is that that's the only thing like you can play games with it, or it's just that's
well,
like
it comes
an add-on?
it comes with an app with.
It's not. It's $100.
That's the only thing. It's a little expensive. But if it made us more, listen, man, I'm gonna be honest. My fitness routine has suffered, and it's where I have so much free time and so little energy and motivation to do anything active.
It feels like gravity's gotten heavier.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like it genuinely feels like walking through space has gotten harder.
Yeah. What? It's so strange. But we should feel like.
Because everything has slowed down.
I guess,
I genuinely believe that.
Again, lessons for. We just keep jumping into our last segment. So you're saying no to the plank board?
If it goes on sale. But it's like, and
Well,
I
it
know
is
that,
on sale.
well,
It's
yeah,
down from
but
$150.
That's what they do. They make
Well-
it a price, and then they're like, "Look, it's cheaper."
It comes with an app, and you can play. They're all kind of the same game. You just balance, but there's hang glide. There's the mountain biking game. There's a whole bunch. I looked it up today. There's the.
I just want to play the "How can I get my ab workout over faster" game. That's what I want to play.
But it feels faster because you're doing games on the plank board.
I guess, but also I get so motion sickness.
So
I couldn't do that.
You don't think you could handle
Well,
it?
I had like a bad time when I went to. Also, here's what I want to see: is I want to see somebody who's in the. Okay, all right, there we go. I was gonna say I want to see somebody who is in.
Regular shape.
Yeah, like not a fitness model. Yeah, of course they can do it.
Yeah.
Also, that's gonna go. That is gonna. It's only fits any phone. Do you know how quickly that's going to not be applicable based off of what phone you have?
Well, I think they have it where you can like.
And also, screw that. They put a fuller-bodied woman in the one where she couldn't do it, and then they put like fit people in it. They're like, "Yep, sorry, fatso, you couldn't do it."
I think they're saying like you start off like that, and then if you do it
Yeah,
enough.
I got it, but also like, I mean, ridiculous.
So you're saying no.
Also, that guy's back looked like Luke.
Luke.
Did you see that?
Luke.
The back of his head looked like Luke.
My friend Luke Tuma?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Luke
Yeah.
Tuma. Look, Silver Fox old dude and they
Stealth. Game your core.
I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it.
Welcome to Stealth Nation. Well, they've got a private Facebook group, babe.
This part
Look
looks
at
pretty
everybody.
dumb.
Look at them.
Yeah, that part's like
They're
if you're
going.
active in the stealth private Facebook group, you have no life.
You might, yeah. I was going to say you might have killed a hamster, but that seemed dark.
No, I don't think that.
Well,
So you don't want it. Look, they got speed gliding. They got I mean, that looks pretty fun, right? Play some games while you're planking.
I mean, I guess, but for $100, she's cute. She looks fun. I don't think it'd be sweating like that. That's like those. Have you seen the copper waist
Yeah,
trainers?
that's bullshit.
That can't be. Have you seen the
Which
the
one?
things that tie up around your little chicken? What's this called?
I don't know. Turkey neck?
I guess, yeah. And it's supposed to be like, if you wear this, and so it's all these like Instagram videos of girls like this, and then they've got those things where it ties up their little
Or what?
little.
I don't know what those are. It pulls back your neck fat?
Yeah,
Like in real life?
it's like a device that you tie on up to your head like this, and it's supposed to suck.
How do you hide it?
No, it's like a thing you wear at home.
Oh, that can't work.
Yeah, I know. It's
There's no.
It's
It's like, you seen that thing where it's like it's like a chew toy for people, and it's supposed to tighten your jawline. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. Well, now you can get Botox down here. That's supposed to tighten those muscles. So there you go, ladies.
Do men get Botox?
Of course.
Do I? I don't need it, right?
No,
Okay.
I don't think that anyone needs it.
Okay. I don't know why I asked you that. I never thought I did, and we were just talking about it. Now I feel weirdly insecure
Why?
because I wasn't sure if I needed Botox.
I mean, up to you, but you know.
No, I like.
I
how
also feel like if you were just, you have such like a distinct face that if your face was present, hello,
Imagine-
hi,
What if my face got
reservation under Getland, and your eyes are just.
Dude, when you see a man, like, it's bad when anybody has bad plastic surgery, but I feel like with men, it's more noticeable.
Oh, it's so.
You remember
it's
what like Burt
startling.
Reynolds looked like at the end?
Yes,
Oh,
it's-
Michael Jackson's the most obvious one.
It's startling.
Or like,
Well, the startling thing about Michael was like, who was doing your work at Chop Shop in like Tijuana? You have so much money.
well, I think his was like another level of,
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot there.
yeah. So anyway,
All right. Should we move on?
yeah, let's.
I
move
think
on.
it's
All
time.
right, it's done.
Oh, this is exciting. So there's so much, crap going on in the world that we wanted to do something, nice and fun. And this is a Good Samaritan shout out.
You're staring at me.
I was scared you were going to start like spitting bars or
No,
something.
I'm not doing that on air. Okay. This is pretty cool. Now, again, there's so much bad news going on. Someone's like, oh, again, this person, that person, whatever. This is a really nice story, and it involves a place that we go to sometimes. So why don't you read this headline for us?
Kroger pledges 200,000 gallons of milk for nation's food banks as pandemic continues. Now can I read?
Sorry, I was
Okay.
scrolling down, so you want to go back up?
Nope, if that's not the part you want me to read. As government officials continue to search for more out-of-the-box solutions. Why is that in quotes?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah. Maybe they should have said out of the.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just weird. First, there's more out-of-the-box solutions to transport food from farmers to food banks during the corona pandemic. Kroger has pledged a helping hand. As part of its dairy rescue program, the grocery giant will donate 200,000 gallons of milk to food banks over the next 4 months.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's great. I guess,
You're not as impressed.
well, not that. I guess I was ready to cheer on a person. But I should
Well,
be
the Kroger
excited.
CEO, Rodney McCullen, said it's part of an ongoing industry-wide effort to help the hungry while stabilizing food supply chain.
Okay, I like that. I love it.
Sorry it wasn't good enough.
No, I think that's great. I was in the store last night. We had toilet paper, plenty of meat variety products, pork, beef, chicken, and all those things. He was on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
About 42 million Americans across the nation were food insecure, and now add to that the Americans who filed for unemployment, and it's a huge increase. So
That's a good phrase to kind of explain people's reality. Food insecure,
yeah. Well,
because they're not starving, but they're definitely not always having food at the ready.
but again, that's what goes into, and now I've seen a lot of those, which really, if I had some big money, or when I have some big money coming in, I would love to invest in the trucks now that are bringing fresh produce to lower socioeconomic neighborhoods.
yeah,
Because those areas have no access, which is then also feeding into the obesity crisis, and then also
diabetes
keeping
and everything else, yeah.
Keeping these mega Nabisco and all these companies
Right.
running, because on food stamps you can only use X amount of products or whatever.
Sure.
So anyway, very cool. All right, Good Samaritans.
Okay. All right. Well, now
I also love and hate that now NBC News, one of their navigation bars is just coronavirus. Now it just has its own navigation bar.
that's every news site. I check the news every day. Every single news site has that, but it makes sense. Of course they do.
Yeah.
People want to know.
But do we know anything yet?
Let's save it for the last segment.
All right.
We keep teasing it.
Okay,
All
here
right.
we go. Well, we're almost there, guys. If you were just joining us,
I'm Alex Gatlin.
I'm Rachel LaForce.
We're two comedians. We're engaged, and this is our podcast we do every week, every Monday.
We live stream every Monday on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. At Skewed Orbit and at House Rules Pod. And then you can catch us. We drop these full episodes. We do all sorts of fun stuff to them. So subscribe to our YouTube or don't. You know what I mean? Be a pal.
And our Skewed Orbit Facebook. But anyway, we do a lot of fun segments on this show, and this segment coming up. This is kind of like the original segment.
This is the OG.
The segment that started it all. This is
Rachel Learns the News.
okay. Now some of this is funny news. Some of this is like, are you kidding me?
Oh no. Okay.
But I did the funny ones first.
Well, no. Give me the tough one first. Then hit me with the funnies.
Oh, now I got to rework the order.
All right. You do what works. Give me the funnies.
This is a fun one.
I'm tough. I can take it. Man arrested trying to quarantine on private Disney island. Okay, let me hear more.
First thoughts.
Okay, hero. That's my first thought. Okay, here we go. Orlando, Florida. Florida deputies arrested a man who had been living out his quarantine on a shuttered Disney World island, telling authorities it felt like a tropical paradise. Orange County Sheriff deputies found Richard McGuire, of course he is, on Disney's Discovery Island on Thursday. He said he'd been there since Monday or Tuesday and had planned to camp there for a week, according to an arrest report. The 42-year-old said he didn't hear numerous deputies searching the private island for him on foot, by boat, and by air because he was asleep in a building. He told the deputy he didn't know it was a restricted area, despite there being numerous no trespassing signs.
You know this would be a great scene who would crush this? I feel like this is John Glazer, the actor.
Oh, it's
right?
great, yeah.
If you don't know who that is, he was the dentist on Parks and Rec. Like him just stumbling out in his boxers, like, what? Oh, what are you guys doing?
This is great. Richard stated that he was unaware of that and that it looked like a tropical paradise. Wow.
So it's the island, by the way. It was closed down before the pandemic hit. It's where it was supposed to be their island where all the animals lived, and it was a safari island. But it had been kind of decommissioned and was empty.
Wait, hold on. So I got to scrub through this really quick. So he's saying a security representative for Disney said she saw McGuire using a company boat Thursday.
Yeah, that's
Okay. So he figured out how to do that. And now it's not clear if he has an attorney or not. There's no comment. Okay. Previously called Treasure Island, Discovery Island had been the site of a zoological park before the island was closed to the public in 1999. So it's non-operational.
correct. But that was the safari park with the animals. And then I guess he figured, hey, nobody's there. I'm just going to steal.
So there's literally nothing on the island.
Correct. It's abandoned. It's been abandoned since 99. Not abandoned. I mean, Disney owns it, but it's been closed down.
So there's nothing on it.
Well, empty buildings apparently.
Do we don't have any pictures of his oh, what a bummer.
I'll have to go. I'll Google some later and try and find.
Oh
But
my god. I love that so much.
where would if we had a pontoon boat we could steal or a jet? Is there anywhere you would be like a place like that you'd want to crash and hide out at?
Yeah, there.
In Disneyland?
Yeah, that sounds great. They already found Richard. They're not going to go looking for us.
I guess that's true. No, they're probably gonna look harder now.
I don't know.
Could you imagine if they left it alone and then so much time had passed and there was a family, he had a wife
Yeah,
and they had
Swiss Family Robertson. That's what I would say if I took my family there, and then I'd be like, "Listen, you guys made a movie out of this, okay?"
Did you say Robertson? It's Robinson.
That's what I
You
said.
said Robertson.
No, I think he said Robinson. I probably just said it slurred because I'm drunk. I'm just kidding. I'm
False.
not.
Okay. Well, I thought that was the fun one.
That's very funny. That is very, very funny. I'm sad. We don't have a picture of Robert.
No,
Richard.
I couldn't find. Yeah, I'll have to look. They didn't put it in the article. So, but shout out to you, sir. You have an open invite to zoom into our podcast if you so
that's
like.
a good Samaritan on.
I'm
for
gonna
me.
try and find this guy and see if he wants to do. I don't want him to come here, but we'll do a Zoom video.
He
call
might
in.
already be here.
Yeah, he's hiding in the attic.
This is a big house.
Well,
Who
we do.
knows?
I think we have a raccoon living in the attic.
that or small family of bats. We're not sure yet.
Yeah. If anybody has any thoughts on how to know what critter is living in your ceiling or walls, let us know. Okay. Next one. This one is actually kind of a little bit concerning.
Costco to limit meat purchases. Missoula, Montana, huh?
That's where this article's out of.
I really want to go there.
Why?
A River Runs Through It was based in Missoula. I think that's where my love started. But I've never been to Montana.
Is that where Yellowstone is?
I don't know.
We should go. I would go there with you.
To Yellowstone or Missoula?
Both.
Okay.
Honeymoon.
All right. To Missoula, Montana?
I don't want to leave the country until everything is normal again.
Oh, yeah. Well, there goes bye-bye Bali.
We'll talk about that in Lessons from Quarantine. All right.
Ugh, okay, here we go. Missoula, Montana. Costco announced this weekend that it would be limiting meat purchases as part of Corona's response. Costco has implemented limits on certain items to help ensure members. So is this basically just saying like we don't want to run out of food?
Yeah. But
Okay.
but it's like first it was toilet paper, then it was paper towels, and now it's made it down to like meat where they have to like they're rationing stuff. It you could think it's kind of like, oh, who cares, whatever, but it is concerning because the meat plants are having serious issues. One, in part, that there's been corona outbreaks with the staff, and they have to keep like sending people home and stuff. And then also, the supply chains are slowing down, so there's a there's going to be a major shortage of meat in the country coming up. And so Costco's doing like a meat rationing.
I feel like that's insane.
Yeah, it is. But that you're saying that this caused that?
No, like if you think about how much meat we produce
Yeah.
now, like it used to just be farms,
Okay.
family farms.
Right.
What we had is what you got when we were out. That was it.
This is probably
Right.
better for us that we're going to go back to that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is I feel like because it's not these families that people are, it's these major places where they've
Right.
like thrown all of these cows together
Yeah.
and all of these awful situations where people don't want to be, they're not organic free range farms.
But here's my
They're
question.
not-
Here's my question for you, right? You and I know I get what you're saying.
All right.
Hold on. I have a question. I want you to
Okay.
answer.
All right.
So, we love to have some beef here and there, some pork here and there, some other meats here and there. How are we going to have we can't do that. Like most people cannot just have turkeys walking around their property and then like raise them and kill them themselves. It's not feasible for most 95% of America.
Right. But do you also know how many farmers have had to stop farming because they couldn't afford to do it? And now that the government's going to need them to, shocker, now
Oh,
they
I see
have
what you're
the money to give them different tax breaks and blah. It's like everything that they did
Yeah.
to
What if
to take away these people. Listen, don't at me, okay? I know that's not entirely why family farming went under, but I know that is a lot of it, that it became more and more and more expensive. And when they're competing to get their things on the market with these other, like Tyson Chicken or these mega companies,
Right.
they can't compete. Well,
That's a
if
good point,
Tyson
yeah.
can't compete, the government's not going to let us just not have, shocker, this money is going to come from somewhere. These tax breaks are going to come from somewhere that are then going to enable. I think it's great. In a lot of ways, we will create, jobs again in a lot of these farm towns that have completely had their economies disrupted.
would you become a farmer?
100%.
Really?
It's in my blood.
Oh, that's true. You come from farmers.
Yeah.
I think it's all good. Listen, I didn't eat any meat today. I did have eggs. We had those Beyond Burgers. I'm trying to eat less meat in general. It's better for the planet. It's, I think.
I'm a big protein person, but I think I could go. Now with these Beyond Burgers, I'll tell you what, I could do it. I feel like I could do it.
All right. Well, I got 2 more articles for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
2 more.
2 more. Yeah.
Okay.
I did 5 this week.
Okay. May I
What-
have permission to grab my phone quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You can. Oh, I see. It's.
Wait. Yeah, no, keep talking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you have to go back live on Instagram. Okay. So, do you think we've kind of, jumped the shark with like not maybe jumped the shark, but Tiger King? It's like we're over it. We're done with Tiger King, right?
Right.
Well, check this headline out.
It's not going to work.
Wait, just say it. Read it.
Nicolas Cage to play Tiger King's Joe Exotic in scripted series from American Vandal showrunner. Yeah, now...
You know what's so funny is Tiger King is like the epitome of it was great for that small window, and then we kind of like binged it and we're over it. But then it's like we consume stuff so fast that we can't catch up to like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Tiger King was a slow burn, then maybe we would have been excited about.
I mean, maybe, but it's also like I don't know. I just don't really. I'm trying to figure out.
What are you doing?
Well, I was trying to figure out why it won't let me start. Do you think it's just because my battery's too low?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're learning stuff live on the air.
Remember, you got to charge your phone before we start.
I know, but remember, it's because my phone. It's like it was still more
Okay.
than enough.
Anyway.
Guys, I got an old phone. You know what I mean? What's a girl to do?
I guess my biggest takeaway. First of all, the show's it's not going to be good. First, it's going to be through CBS, so you know it's going to be bad.
Well, I also wonder if this is just a publicity stunt and they're not actually going to make it. I mean, I'm just like, why would anybody? Also, there's nothing better than what we already saw.
Right? Yeah. That's
Like,
fair.
there's nothing. Like, it felt like
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like it felt like, when Trump says something absolutely ridiculous and then we try to make fun of it. I'm like, why? Why not just play back what he said and then we all go, that's hilarious. Like, I just feel like some things are larger than life. And so it's like, I don't know. I think it's crazy.
I guess to me, it was just interesting how quickly everything happens now. Like it was like nobody knew about Tiger King. And then within less than a week, everybody was binging it. And then a week later, everybody was sick of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just everything, we go through everything so quickly. And it takes a long time to make this stuff. All these different movies and shows and specials and everything. It takes so long to create that content. And we burn through it. And then we're like, all right, that was cool.
I know, it feels like every dude who's just like had sex with somebody and then they're like, "Pff, over it." Like they chased that girl and then they got to sleep with her and they're like, "Pff, old news."
I guess.
That's what America is.
America is, the way we treat our shows is how like fuckboys treat girls.
Yeah.
I guess.
Just like, "What's up, girl?" And then they finally say, "What's up?" And then you're like, "Pff, over it."
It's like a show that you're
Old news, Lindsay.
you just for every dude you do that. You do that voice for me too.
Right?
What was it? Okay. Well, anyway,
I mean, that's insane. But also, like, and it just sucks because, like, the American Vandal, I still feel like they shouldn't have done a second series, that they should have just done, like, the first one was done so well. It was like a satirical piece of just magic.
yeah, I never saw it. What was it about? I don't
You
even.
haven't seen it?
I don't even think I've heard of it.
Okay. Yes, you have. Were they okay,
American Vandal?
American Vandal on Netflix, and it was it was like a true crime parody. It was about the high school, and they drew all the dicks.
How did I miss this?
You haven't seen this?
Who's in it?
Oh my word!
I don't think I've even heard of it. Who's in it?
I am so excited for you. No more. No more.
Okay.
I'm so excited for you.
What was that sound effect?
I sounded like what's ever in our walls.
Yeah, guys, we really do have animals living in the walls. So if you have any thoughts,
Stay tuned. We can talk more about that. Yeah, I think it's crazy. So
Okay.
you were gonna watch A League of Their Own this week.
Okay.
And you're gonna watch American Vandal, and we
Yeah.
got to talk about it next week.
Okay.
All right. Give me the
All right.
last.
All right,
last
this
piece of
is
news.
cool. It's kind of a little bit like, oh Jesus, but it is cool. It is cool too. So
Okay.
here we go.
Amazon VP resigns. Company calls chicken shit for.
Calls company chick. He calls the company.
Oh, okay.
Take Rachel has trouble reading headlines.
Okay, here we go.
You're all right. Take your time with it. This is becoming a reoccurring pattern for you.
I'm not doing enough yoga.
Do you have dyslexia?
I don't know.
Okay, start from the top.
Amazon VP resigns, calls company chicken shit for firing protesting workers. Tim Bray says the company has become toxic and the firings are designed to create a climate of fear. Fuck yeah, Tim Bray.
Yeah, so shout out to this guy.
Sorry for saying the F word. I know we're live streaming.
Nah,
You've
it's
got
all right.
kids near
Yeah.
you.
But I just thought it was cool that he, like someone who's a vice president.
Dude, Tim Bray, a well-known senior engineer and vice president at Amazon, has quit in dismay. Wow, what a term. Quit in dismay. Because Amazon has been firing whistleblowers who were making noise about warehouse employees frightened of COVID-19. In an open letter on his website, Bray, who has worked at the company for nearly 6 years, called the company chicken shit for firing. You know what, dude? This should have been. This is the Good Samaritan. Shout out to Tim Bray. More people should be like this.
Okay, so not the Kroger milk. I should have done this one for
No,
good.
I mean, good for Kroger, too. That's incredible. We should be doing that because people deserve to eat. This is America, and we have way too many starving people, not even in COVID, just all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane to me that there are people that are starving in America. That
Sure.
Bezos made over like another, what was it, like 130 million in a week?
I mean, I read. It's hard to know exactly,
Yeah,
but
because that's fake money.
an
at this
article I
point.
read said he made $24 billion since COVID started. But also, like, I'm not defending the guy. I'm just saying, like, do we really know? Like, he made insane amounts of money. The thing that's, like, again, it's so tough because you want to buy stuff, but or not even you need to get certain things that you just can't get at a store right now. So, like, Amazon might be like, for face masks, like, I went and got one on Amazon because, like, I don't even know where to get one otherwise. I guess I could, like, peruse Target and maybe Home Depot was out. I looked at Home Depot. They didn't have anything there. Most other
Can
stores
I
are
go
closed.
back to Tim Bray? Because now I'm getting mad at Bezos.
Okay.
And I would just I want to glorify Tim Bray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim Bray all day.
Dude, I want a Tim Bray all day t-shirt.
We should make him.
Dude,
We
bray me,
should-
bruh. Bray me, bruh.
We should make Tim.
Right?
Yeah. Do you want to go to his website? See what,
Yes.
Okay, let's click on this link.
Yes, Tim Bray.
Hold on, let me make it a little bigger so it's easier to read.
This blog post is titled Buy Amazon.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, Tim Bray.
Yeah, so let's read a little bit of this.
Buy Amazon. May 1st was my last day as VP and distinguished engineer at Amazon Web Services. After 5 years and 5 months of rewarding fun, I quit in dismay at Amazon firing whistleblowers who were making noise about warehouse employees frightened of COVID-19. What with big tech salaries and share vestings, this will probably cost me over $1 million pre-tax dollars, not to mention the best job I've ever had working with awfully good people. So I'm pretty blue. All right, Tim. What happened? Last year, Amazonians on the tech side banded together as Amazon employees for climate justice. Okay, so he's explaining the whole thing of basically what
There's
happened.
a lot of language in it. It's very long. But let's get down to where it
Then
says.
it also, okay, so that snap. At that point, I snapped. VPs shouldn't go publicly rogue, so I escalated through the proper channels and buy the book. I'm not at liberty to disclose those discussions, but I made many of the arguments appearing in this essay. I think I made them to the appropriate people. That done, remaining an Amazon VP would have meant, in effect, signing off on actions I despised, so I resigned. Dude, shout out. I wish more people...
Can we replace Joe Biden with this guy? Because I mean, I don't know his.
Dude,
I don't know his.
Tim Bray all day 2020.
I don't
I'm on
know
board.
his political views or anything, but just what we always talk about when someone has integrity like that.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
Yeah. So
What
that's,
is this? Truth, biz, tech, author, dad, software. On board.
Yeah, that's his website. So go to tbray.org. I love that. It's tbray.org.
Dude, T Bray all day 2020.
All right, shout
I'm
out.
on board.
All right, well, Rachel, we got to get to our last segment, but I'm very excited for this one. What's this last segment we're going to finish things off with?
This is Lessons Learned in Quarantine.
All right, so we thought of this today.
All of your new unlicensed music just sounds like an adult version of Reading Rainbow.
Really?
Every time it plays, I'm like, is this PBS?
I just try to do a mixture of like a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of disco, a little bit of like. But then we got,
Yeah.
And then
I
the-
was here for it. Okay. Do you want to keep playing it? I know you're proud.
I spent a lot of time on YouTube finding unlicensed music we can use.
Yeah.
Well, because a couple episodes ago, I used a clip from the Beatles and they flagged it immediately and pulled the whole episode down. But,
Rats.
okay, anyway,
You know who wouldn't do that?
Tim Bray.
There you go.
Yeah. Dude, I want to, honestly, now I want to like meet Tim Bray, interview him. I'm very impressed. It's not often we hear of someone at that high level of authority in a major company who's like, ethically, this is wrong, and I'm going to publicly step down and talk about it.
Well, especially because it's like, action begets action. And I think that's why it's so important, where it's like, I think a lot of times people get caught up in money and their lifestyle and then the power and then the greed. And, we all have our own reasons for why we do things. And I think that seeing actions like that are so incredibly important. To me, because it reminds me like, oh, there are people out there that are in positions of power that do want what's good, that do
Yeah.
want what's right, that
And
are
seeing-
fighting for what's right.
And I think they inspire. When you see someone that high up, it inspires other people to be like, no, this is like, if this is wrong,
100%.
yeah,
Dude, I'm going to let everybody know. Dude, tbray.com, bro.
.org.
Oh, well, Tim. You know what? But like, of course, Tim would have a .org. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wouldn't
Okay.
be timbray.com. Not for this Tim Bray. Okay.
T-Bray.
T-Bray.
Doesn't T-Bray sound like a drug dealer?
T-Bray.
Be like, y'all got to get that sweet, dank kush from T-Bray.
That makes it sound like you don't know what any of those words mean.
I know. I was fumbling around there. Well, you couldn't even read the headline. Okay, anyway, look.
That's because I can't read.
Last segment. So we take walk. We've been walking a lot during quarantine, trying to just get out there, be a little active.
So many walks.
So
Haven't done a puzzle yet, though.
today, thank God. So today you said, hey, let's do a segment, lessons learned in quarantine, because you were just kind of rapping about like the different, honestly, takeaways we've had from. I mean, we're over a month in now. We're like almost 6 weeks into this, right? Or more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
6?
Yeah, we're going on 7.
Yeah. So what are some of your lessons you've taken away?
I will never read a book.
Yeah,
Like,
that's.
there's nothing now that could happen that I would be like,
You do read books
I'm gonna
occasionally,
read.
a little bit.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
dabble.
well, what I do is I normally use them as references.
Yeah.
So it's very rare that like I will get a fiction book and just sit down and like enjoy it for the journey of
Yeah.
reading, right? And that's what I realized because
Right.
I've had this book, Mind Gut Connection. Look at it every day when I'm making my bone broth or my celery juice. That's hopefully going to help clear out the bacteria in my gut. And I'm like, I could read that book that's been sitting here, or I could just mess around on my phone for a couple hours, get crazy.
I will say a lesson I've definitely, I don't know if it's a lesson or more of like a realization. I definitely want to not live in a really dense urban area as much. Like just this reality is reminding me like, I know that maybe for what we do for work, we have to commute more perhaps, but
Yeah.
being able to have a garden, like truly grow like a good amount of crops. And then like my friends, what?
Just hearing you say grow crops is so charming.
Like my friend Steve has goats and he's like milks the goats and he has like his own goat milk that he just brings into his house. Like that's awesome.
it's dope, dude.
Yeah. I want to get chickens, you know. If we could have our own little like mini farm. I know that it's a ton of work. It would probably be hard to really make this happen. But how awesome would that be, right?
Well, I think we could pare it down.
What would be on our farm? You can pick 4 things. What would you want on the farm?
Chickens
Okay. For eggs or for eating the chickens?
for eggs.
Yeah. It'd be too messy to eat the chickens.
Yeah, I'm not killing that thing.
Yeah. I'd be cool with just eggs.
What are my other options? I mean, I could just make it lavender,
oh, okay.
you know. Or I would say vegetable garden. I'll change that to vegetable garden. Lemon tree.
Avocado. No, avocados are hard to grow, I think.
We
We know nothing about farming, clearly.
That's what I'm realizing. I'm like,
We're both-
I don't know what's on a farm. Like, I just keep being like, and Plato was his name. Oh,
By the way,
Bingo. Right?
Well, also,
Do you know that song?
yeah, I know Bingo was his name. Of course. I was a child
Old
once.
MacDonald. That's the song.
right. I
Old McGetlin had a farm.
I will say this is the thing I've learned is like it's like we were saying how like time feels heavier because it like nothing is happening. Which is again, it's like it's weird how I've been so much more motivated to work out when I'm busy. It's like really hard to get myself to exercise here. But you've been doing crafting. You started tie-dyeing. That's your new thing now.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this pace of life. I'm in it. I love it. Like
Yeah.
I've been telling people because I always like to preface of like I'm definitely experiencing the same as most people of like a lot of grief and heaviness about what's going on in the world and like how how people are kind of experiencing this, and some people are like really experiencing some very heavy devastation and, like all of those things and what's going on in the world and these government bailouts. And like, there's really some awful, awful things happening.
Yeah.
But on a micro level for me, I'm a steadfast Taurus, y'all. You know what I mean? I love to just kind of like wake up when I wake up, have a little coffee, kind of get the day started, do a little stretch, you know?
Yeah.
And then like I do work for like I do the bulk of my work then for about 4 hours straight. So
Right.
that's like I basically can bang out 8 hours of work in 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
We have 8-hour work days. Ain't nobody working for 8 hours, y'all get real. You know?
Yeah,
So,
even
like,
if you're at work for 8 hours, you're not working.
that's
for
what
8
I'm saying.
hours.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, I just sit down, concentrate, bang through it, get it all done. And then we like go and do some sort of light exercise to get outside, come back, make some food. And then leisurely either, like I do a craft or I check in with a friend. Like I have loved this pace of life.
You've been really good about like scheduling stuff for yourself, like keeping on top of that.
Well, that's what I said where I was like, I realized that it's also, I think, been easier for me because my experience is always my work and craft is self-motivated. So like outside of like a few phone calls here and there for a show that I'm working on and things like that, I haven't had any meeting that's outside of me.
Right.
Right. So like all of my deadlines are self-imposed deadlines. This pilot's got to get done by
that's
this.
good that you have that discipline.
That's what I'm saying. So
A lot of people
to me,
don't.
So to me, I don't think that like my time has felt different because I'm always having to be a self-starter versus people who like
Right.
their job's just on furlough and
Sure.
so they're like, I don't know, do I bake? Like they don't have, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
My-
Well, it's funny when you see people online doing like productivity flexing, like they try to show off like being so productive during quarantine. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying like people. I've seen people trying to like, and maybe it motivates themselves. So like, good on you if that helps you. But it's just funny to me people who are trying to be like, yeah, I'm crushing quarantine, doing so many things.
I'm just so surprised that so many people can make sourdough bread. That's been another lesson and a takeaway.
We've learned how to cook some stuff.
I'm still making scrambles. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
haven't really moved beyond the most fancy meals I've gotten are the pre-made ones at Kroger where all of the things are there and then there's the list. It's
Well-
basically HelloFresh, but I've picked it up an hour before I've made it.
The biggest thing, we can wrap on this if you want. But I think the biggest lesson, I think our generation, like millennials in general, and the Zers and the Xers and all that, I think we're really seeing like, oh, we gotta stop living outside of our means. Like you and I didn't do that already, and now we're definitely never going to do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's been a huge because there is that where it's like, oh my gosh, so many people and they have to pay for this and that. Now, people that have really been that have gotten taken through the ringer and all this. Listen, my heart goes out for all of those things, but for the folks that are continually living outside of their means and now are having that oh shit moment.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, lesson learned. If you don't have it, like, don't buy it. Or what's the rule of thumb? If you can't afford to buy it twice, you can't afford it.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that rule. But it's going to be interesting to see. I'm really curious to see like our generation over the next 2 decades, like how we adapt and like the different, we're probably going to start buying a lot less stuff. I bet you camping is going to be way more popular. Like people are going to be camping over cruising and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like the kind of pared down. But your birthday was a perfect example. We didn't do anything and it was wonderful.
Because we don't, but that's the thing where everyone's like, oh my God, I can't do anything. And I'm like, okay,
You don't need
slow
to.
down. Like, there are still so many things that you can do in quarantine. There are still so many ways to. Now, I know that's different for my friends that are single and in like 1-bedroom apartments in major metropolitan cities.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
That's a very, very tough situation. But even there still, it's like there are still so many things that we can do. And I feel like there are so many negative things that are coming out of this, but there's also so many positive things. Like, did you see the New York Times posted that there's like somebody, you'd have to really read it, that is projecting that drive-in movies
Yeah, I saw that.
are going
yeah.
to be like a huge comeback now. And I realized that like this week I've already heard from 2 or 3 people that were like, oh yeah, we went to the drive-in this week.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I think it's more of a novelty than an actual like enjoyable movie experience.
But what a great thing to like,
Sure.
if you have your family, like think about like, I'm
I would
like, oh,
go.
I'm going to pack up all these kids, take them to a movie theater, buy them all this stuff and then sit there. They're all going to be loud. Nobody's going to pay attention. Like this way, at least like we're all in our car. So if my kids
Yeah.
are annoying, they're only annoying me, not everybody else that paid to see this movie. Do you know what I mean?
Sure,
That's just
yeah.
on me because I can't control my children.
Yeah.
You know?
I got it.
Like other people that do annoying stuff in like a movie theater. Like when someone's texting there, do it in your own car. You know what I mean? I would prefer it that way.
I don't think we'll see movie theaters come back. I think they're done.
Well, here's what I'll say because I feel like we should wrap it up on this. is I do think that there are so many beautiful things that are pared down, that are ways to like really stay connected and be grounded, that are available to us now. I think the idea of like really taking stock in, you know, if you are somebody that's like buys a lot of stuff, like why? What do you
Yeah.
need it for?
I agree. Yeah.
Why are you trying to get your oxytocin that way? You know, your serotonin.
They're going to
Like,
say oxycodone that way.
also, if you're buying too much of that, maybe this is time to think about it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that there have been, I mean, I could go on and on about this, but yeah, I think like living outside of your means, all of the ways in which like, yeah, I mean, I've noticed for me, and I think I've always been this way. And it's also just been a part of like, you know, learning more about myself through my journey of like being sober and
Yeah.
all of these things of like, oh yeah, I'm actually like, I mean, I love beautiful things, but
Right.
I like very simple things.
Sure.
And like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So I think that it's kind of nice, kind of happy to be learning that about myself.
Yeah. I mean, you've definitely helped me see more of the positive side of all this. Before I was just like cranky about like, oh, I lost this gig and I lost that gig and who knows when stand up will come back.
Because it's also like everything is going to come back, albeit it might be slow down, hear me out. It might be different. It might be, you know, oh, here we go. Yeah. So Trudy said, mine and hubby's life hasn't changed much. We are major homebodies to begin with. He's loving it. Now he doesn't need an excuse to do nothing. Exactly, Trudy.
Yeah. Shout out, Trudy. You're right.
I feel like
I'm embracing it.
well, and I think that there's something to be said about that, which is I know that there's a lot of fear and it's warranted, right?
Yeah.
We're all scared because we don't know. I said that last week where I was like, you know, I think it's easier for people to say, oh, this is like, you know, New World Order trying to control us and it's mind control, or it's
silly,
like
yeah.
any sort of what I would refer to as a conspiracy theory. I think it's easier to buy into that than to accept that nobody knows what's happening.
Right.
Because that's way scarier.
Sure.
It's so much scarier to be like, oh, actually, nobody knows what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, well,
No,
who
you're right.
knows? Stay tuned. But
Well-
there's also, I think with that is it's really cool to realize like everything will come back, in which way it does or how it transforms or whatever. Like soon enough, this will be a thing in the past that we're all, you know, we'll watch on like VH1 of like VH1's COVID-19. And we'll all be like, wasn't that crazy when that
I
happened?
just think it's funny that you think VH1 will still be a thing after all of this.
well, you know,
whatever the future of VH1 is.
yeah.
Okay, should we end on that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, guys, if you've been watching live, thank you so much. If you've been listening, we love you too. We will be back here every Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. You can follow us at Skewed Orbit. That's our Facebook and YouTube pages. That's our production company. So just look up Skewed Orbit on Facebook or YouTube. All of our clips are on there. We live stream all of the stuff there every week. And Apple Podcast. Drop them there too if you want the audio only. Let's say you're driving, you want to listen to it while you're, you know, mowing the lawn or something.
Yeah, there we go. I always get frustrated at the end. I would totally reverse the way we do this outro.
You do it. Tell me how to do it.
Okay.
Do it correctly.
All right, here we go.
Teach me.
You guys, thank you so much for listening in. Thank you, Luann. I see you, girl. Thank you guys so much for listening again. Together we are House Rules. Individually we are.
I'm Alex Getlin.
I'm Rachel LaForce. We are here every Monday live streaming. You can catch us from 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern every Monday. We live stream on our @Skewed Orbit page on Facebook as well as YouTube. That's @Skewed Orbit. You can check us out also on Instagram if you're on that platform. Check us out @House Rules Pod for all of our clips and more. You can go there, and as always, you can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcast.
And also send us questions. You know, we love interacting with you guys. Luann, Trudy, Joey, everybody else has been tuning in.
Myron, yeah,
Yeah,
Kayla.
Myron. You know, you got questions you want us to answer on the air, or just, you know, fun facts you want to share with us, articles, items, or should we buy this for our house? Send it our way. All right.
All that good stuff. You guys, be good to yourself, be good to others. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.